Yeah, no doubt India will be possibly the favourites for this tournament. I think all the teams would have come here believing they can win it. 2020 cricket's pretty fickle, and I think all sides are playing good cricket. So, we've got a tough match first up, but we'll be preparing as best we can in these conditions, and look, it'll be great to get off to a good start and hopefully carry a bit of momentum throughout the tournament.
Yeah, this is Noel from the Deccan Chronicle. Brendan McCullum, he made an indelible mark on New Zealand cricket. Do you think ahead of the ICC World T20 he took a right decision to retire from the old forms of the game, being an important factor in the team?
I think it's probably a part of anything you do that it comes to an end, and it was Brendan's decision to retire, and that's just the nature of it. He gave so much to the team while he was around, and we're certainly thankful for that and for the time we had with him, and he's excited about what he's going to get onto in the future. But I suppose there's a small transition, I guess losing your captain and a top order batter, but like I say, that's just part and parcel of the game we play.
You had an emotional time coming into this tournament. Martin Crowe is no more. Is the team planning to play, in his memory and kind of, dedicate this campaign to his memory? Yeah,
obviously that was a really sad time, particularly for Martin's family. And there's some guys on the side that were very close to him. So conversations will be had certainly closer to our first competition match around how we can best do that. But certainly at this stage, there's still a lot of time before that game, but we will be acknowledging it.
Kane, India have been in good form coming into the World T20. They I think, won 10 matches and lost 1. What do you think will be the key to beating India in the first match?
If we score more runs than them, then we should win it. But no, I think it's important that we adapt. We've been playing some good cricket, T20 cricket, but at the same time, you want to play smart, and over here, cricket can be quite different to perhaps our conditions, and we're fully aware of that. So it's important that we prepare as best we can going into that first game.
Okay.
Kane, you mentioned how playing cricket here is pretty different to what you encounter back home, but given that so many of the New Zealand players, they come here every year to play IPL, how much will that be a factor, and how much will you tap into their knowledge of the conditions and the teams, because everyone has the exposure now of playing in India?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of guys that have played a lot of cricket here, and it's important that you do tap into that experience to certainly help your cause, and a lot of guys that have played alongside of most of the other international players as well, so everyone knows each other. But it'll be a really tough tournament. I think every team will certainly be expecting that, which makes way for a very exciting competition.
Kane, New Zealand is a team which has consistently punched above its weight in major world tournaments, be it the 20 over or the 50 over World Cups. What do you think is the reason for that? Is it just turning up when the big matches come, or is it a bit of a mental aspect of players? Why do you think New Zealand consistently outperforms itself in major tournaments?
We like to think that we're certainly improving as a side, and hopefully game by game we're getting better and better, and it's not just big tournaments where we play good cricket, saying that we'd certainly love to do it in this tournament, but as a side, our focus is to get better and better day in, day out in any match we play, and we want to keep that as our focus going into this tournament.
So, hi Kane. Hi. Over the last couple of years, New Zealand have played a brand of aggressive and exciting cricket, something that Brendan brought into the game. So, and you were largely successful over the last couple of years. So, going into this World Cup, will you continue to play the same brand of game, or will you bring in something that you as a leader can add to the team?
I think that aggressive brand that we have been playing has been really effective for us, but at the same time we didn't set out to play a specific brand. We set out to try and win cricket games, and we thought that was the best way to do it. So I think that is our focus coming over here. Things will be a little bit different. We need to be smart and and look to try and play the best brand that's suited to the conditions and the sides we come up against over here.
Yeah, Kane, how do you look at the challenge of being the captain and also the premier batsman of the team? And who are your inspirations in terms of captaincy?
Brendan, he was very inspirational as a leader, and as a captain, and the way he went about his business on and off the field. It's an exciting challenge, I think, and the team's come a long way in recent years. I suppose we're still relatively quite young, but there's been quite a lot of cricket played amongst the guys, so it's some good experience mixed with some youth as well, and it makes for an exciting side. Most teams are built similarly, so we're looking forward to it. There's a lot of leaders as well, so in terms of a leadership role and being the captain, that's a small part of, I suppose, the leadership of a team, and we're very much just looking forward to getting into the tournament, hopefully getting off to a good start in a tough match against India.
Kane, you won 4 out of the 5 T20s this year, 2 against Sri Lanka and the series against Pakistan. After that, you played the tests and ODIs against Australia. Were they ideal preparations coming into World T20? And secondly, you had a session at the Wankhede today. How did it go?
I suppose we came off a couple of test matches. That's the nature of international cricket, really. You're playing 3 formats, and you're playing a lot, so I guess it was nice to play a bit of cricket coming into it, have a few days off, and then we went straight to Dubai for a couple of days training, and now here we are in Mumbai, and I think it's been a good build-up. Training today went well. Guys hit a few sixes, and it's always nice to see. Hopefully we can do that in the matches as well. But I think the guys are all excited to be here, and looking forward to the start of the competition.
Given India's fine form in the shortest format of the game, any players you guys are looking at that will be possible game changers from the Indian team?
Yeah, I think being perhaps the favourites of the competition is certainly a team that will be very tough to beat in this competition. They've got a number of players that you look at that can win matches, and that's part and parcel with having a very good short format side. That's certainly what the Indian side have, and I think from our perspective we want to focus on our cricket, how we play that as best we can, which certainly will go a long way for us to be successful, but at the same time be smart in how we adopt plans, I suppose, against opposition sides.
Ronnie Flanagan, the anti-corruption head of the ICC, was here on Sunday, and he was talking about the importance of educating players. Since the Lou Vincent affair, has anything changed in New Zealand as far as educating players go? And also on the Chris Cairns, Brendan McCullum thing, how is it feeling in the camp following the end of that trial?
The education around those issues is there, and it's I think you go to at least one seminar every year, so everyone's well educated. As far as our side's concerned, we're all very much just excited to be here and playing in a great tournament like this at the T20 World Cup, and that's pretty much where it sits.
Kane, you mentioned the aggressive brand of cricket that you've been playing. England are starting to play a similar brand of cricket. Can I just get your thoughts on what you make of the new England, the new style of 2020 cricket they're playing, and you'll come up against them in the warm-up games as well. What sort of chances do you think they've got in this competition?
Yeah, I think they're playing fantastic cricket. I suppose we first saw that when we were over there playing in the one-day series, and it was an extremely exciting series. They won 3-2, but both teams set out to, I suppose, play that aggressive brand, which I think was pretty attractive to watch. And they were fortunate enough to do it a little bit better than us. But they've been doing it for a while now, and adopted a few different approaches under Owen Morgan and the support staff there. And I've no doubt that they'll come here with high hopes of doing well in this competition, like most sides, I think, which, like I mentioned, it makes way for a very exciting competition.
You have come with quite a few spinners, some of them rookies, some of them experienced. How much do you think spin will play a factor in this tournament?
Yeah, I suppose you come over to India and you assume that the ball will spin on some of these surfaces. Saying that, you do play on some surfaces that don't, and I guess it's reading the conditions when you turn up to different grounds and looking to assess with what side you might take into it. So yeah, we've got some young, exciting spinners, and they'll be looking forward to getting involved as well.
Kane, you spoke earlier about the team being in a bit of a transition after Brendan's retirement. Could you just speak a little bit on the impact he had on the team over the last couple of years, and also if you're confident enough of a smooth transition with Brendan gone?
Yeah, I think it's pretty evident, the transition on the field. Yeah, he certainly led by example, but he encouraged others to sort of do the same, and I think he created a lot of leaders in the group. And he's first to say that although it was his vision and Mike Hesson's vision, the way the guys bought into it was equally important, and it certainly we saw that certainly on the field, but the focus was very much off the field, and the team culture and guys playing for one another. Selfless cricketers, guys going out, committing to the situation for the benefit of the side, and I think that's important that that's continued. And like I say, there is naturally a transition when you lose a player, someone the calibre of Brendan. It's part of the game, not only as a batsman, but as a leader. And that's, like I mentioned, it's just sort of the nature of what we do, or what anyone does, I suppose, is you finish at some point in time, and you look to move on and build on from what we've done so well, and that's the focus for us.
Kane, a couple of your fast bowlers are coming back from injury, like Tim Southey and McLennan. How fit are they, and how crucial are your fast bowlers to your World T20 campaign in Indian conditions?
Yeah, like I mentioned, the spin is likely to play a part in this tournament, but I have no doubt that the seam bowling will play a big part as well, and we certainly have some world-class seamers in our lineup that they've had a few niggles coming into it, but they're all fit and looking forward to getting started in the competition.
Kane, you have been in tremendous form personally last couple of years. What is the reason that you would think for your success, and how much has someone like Martin Crowe influenced your game, your batting specifically?
Yeah, personally, I try and keep my game as simple as I can and make subtle adjustments to, I suppose, different sides and different surfaces that you might play on, but certainly trying to keep it simple and be relaxed in the middle is, I think, a pretty important thing. I don't think you get runs every day. That's the game, and something you certainly accept, but you go out trying to improve day in, day out, and that's certainly what I try and do is improve.
Okay, now how much Martin Guptill's form in last couple of years have been great asset to the team, and were you surprised that he wasn't picked in IPL because the way he was scoring runs? Yeah,
Martin's been absolutely smashing it for quite a while now, and it's certainly been huge for our side. In the white ball format, he's been leading with the bat. He scored a huge amount of runs so quickly as well, so he's won a lot of games for us, and we're certainly hoping that he can continue that and keep playing with that freedom. 2020 cricket, naturally it can be quite fickle. You go out there playing really aggressively, and you're going to get out every now and again, or pretty much every game you're going to get out, but hopefully you do a bit of damage before that point. And the space that Martin's in at the moment, we're excited as a unit to go into this tournament with the likes of Martin and various other players to show their skills.
Were you surprised he was not been picked in IPL because he was scoring runs?
I'm not an owner, so sides look to choose who they want to pick and assist the team they have. I suppose it's one of those things, but we're certainly thankful having him in our side, and he's playing really good cricket.
Last two, one here and one out there. With the rise in popularity of T20 cricket, what is the future of Test cricket? I mean, New Zealand recently played in the first day-night Test match, and for a while there's been talk about maybe some sort of Test league. Could those two things play a part in ensuring that Test cricket remains popular in the future?
Yeah, I mean, as a player, having 3 formats, I think's a great thing. It certainly keeps things fresh because we play so much these days, and I believe as a spectator, the 2020 cricket's done a huge amount for the game, attracting a different crowd, creating an interest in the game, and I believe it has a flow-on effect. I'm not sure how big, but into the other formats. So certainly when we played in Australia and at home, the crowds have been fantastic, and other Test matches as well. So yeah, I believe the sport's on a high, and certainly in this country, it's on a high every time you play here. So yeah, I think it's in a good place at the moment.
Your first Test series here, you came as like a young lad and you scored a century. You had a really good start to your career, and now you're back here in this country as captain. You've come a long way yourself. Do you think about that?
Yeah, we've spent a huge amount of time in India actually since that first tour, and yeah, I suppose there's a couple of things that you look back and think are quite funny, and I guess playing against some of your heroes when you grow up, likes of Sachin and Dravid and Laxman, who now playing at the Sunrisers in Hyderabad as a mentor and batting coach to the team. So it's funny how things, I suppose, evolve, but it's always great to play in this country with the passion that the Indian public have for the game. Whenever you get the opportunity to play here, it's always pretty special.